There was a video we made years ago as a family. My dad was a big fan of this game show, Let's Make a Deal, and he wanted to be a contestant on this game show.
I'm Ron Griffin.
So we made a video with him explaining why he should be a contestant on Let's Make a Deal.
And I would love the opportunity to be on Deal or No Deal.
My dad got to this one part where they told him to explain to them what makes him unique. And when we got to that part, my dad stopped and paused after he said, "What makes me unique is," as though he could not think of a description or an answer on what makes him unique. Okay, Daddy, tell us what makes you unique. Say, what makes me unique is.
What makes me unique is who I am. Let me see now. What makes me unique, y'all? Continue, please.
But the reality is, that was a tough answer because there are so many things that make my dad unique, special, and one of a kind.
A gentleman, honorable, and kind.
Teacher, consistency, and faith.
My dad is strong, full of faith, and he has a big heart.
When I was growing up and I would just be learning to do a thing like cutting grass or cooking something, and I would ask my father would begin by telling me how, and then he would proceed to showing me how, and then countless times he would come and take the lawnmower from my hand and mow half the yard and ask me, do I have it now? Do I understand how to do it now? And I think my brothers and I would do it not quite right on purpose after a while because we knew he was going to come take the lawnmower from us to make sure it was done right. He wasn't just going to watch us, but he was going to make sure he taught us how to do it appropriately.
When I was young, one of the things that stood out most was how strong my dad was. My dad was the strongest man I knew, and nobody messed with my dad.
I remember as a little girl and you coming home from work, and I was so excited. I would run and jump up on you and jump into your arms. Or when we were coming home from a long trip and I would act like I was asleep in the car just so I could have my dad carry me in the house.
One of the things I admire the most is how no matter what is happening in life, he is consistent. And I watch my dad, whether it's washing my mom's car or opening her door or just checking in on her to make sure she's okay. He's always going to be consistent with sharing his testimony. He's always going to be consistent with sharing his Christ walk. He's always going to be consistent about loving his children.
My dad has always been full of faith. There was one time I had an opportunity when I was in high school to go away to Germany and Norway as an exchange student. It was like, this is a great opportunity. But then when they said how much it would cost each student, and at the time, we were just barely making it. So to come up with that kind of money was going to be a real stretch. My dad believed he could do it. And my dad went out. I don't know all the things that he did for me, but I know one of the things he did, he went out and he would get cans and copper left at construction sites, and he sold it to somebody and they would pay him for that type of material, for that aluminum or that metal. And my dad did that to the great degree that he was able to pay my way for that exchange program.
I also recall a time a few years back before COVID, and we actually had snow in Virginia, and I was still at work, but the school system had let out early, so you were off early. And I remember one of my coworkers coming over and saying, Alicia, your dad is outside scraping the snow off of your car. And I went over to the window, and there you were, making sure the snow was off the car so I could see clearly to get home.
There's no other dad in this world like my dad.
He believes. He's always believed.
You are amazing. You are a godsend.
I can never put into words how much my dad means to me.
From the day that we were born, you worked so hard to make sure we had everything we need more, everything we need more. Even though the times were rough, you made us smile with laughter and made the times not seem so tough. You made the times not seem so tough, and I wish that I could say better yet to repay all the things you've done for us, and I wish that I could do all the things you do. Because Daddy, I love you. Thank you for all the hugs. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for keeping me. Thank you, in my heart you'll always be. Daddy, I love you.
And Dad, that's why you're unique.
All of those things and more is what makes you unique.
So yeah, Dad, that's what makes you unique.
You are unique for this.